Good evening, everyone. My name is Ray Williams. I'm here from IMSTA. We have a cast and crew that I want to thank right off the top for putting this together. Today we're going to listen to a few songs, about 10 to 13 songs, and they're from a lot of countries, 5 countries. We have a distinguished panel of judges here. You've already seen them in the promo, but I'll call them out. Clarissa Diokno, she's not the first time she's done this. We've got Khalid Glover, who is also a veteran of Song Reviews. Mishka from Los Angeles, a veteran as well from the industry. And Clint Ward, who is also a veteran. So it's really a good, power-packed group tonight. We're going to listen to the songs. You follow along, you listen to it. We can try to get the songs in their entirety, and then we'll get the critique at the end. It's a real opportunity for all songwriters to learn from others, learn from how other people would view and listen and think about your music. So without any further ado, we're just going to jump right in. And here's the first song that we're going to play. It's actually from Universal Doctrine. It's a song called All or Nothing. So let's just play that. And Robbie, if you could put my PowerPoint on the screen so people can follow along the lyrics for this song. All right. Clarissa, we're going to go start with you.
Sure.
Clarissa, what do you think?
Very strong vocal. I love your voice. I love your artist name too, by the way. Yeah, your voice sounds very big and full. I love the simplicity of the lyrics. I always find that the simplest of lyrics are the most beautiful and the relatable to a broad audience. I love how the second verse picks it up more with the beat. I feel like the intro could be just slightly shorter. I think it comes in around like the 29-second mark. And I think the listener and the song would benefit from hearing your voice a lot sooner just because it's so beautiful and powerful. I would love to hear like maybe some doubles on your vocals for the chorus or some background vocals and harmonies just to make it sound bigger and differentiate it from the vocals in the verses. But I really like it. I'm going to give the songwriting an 8.
Thank you so much. All right, Khalid, you're next.
Okay, yeah, I like it a lot. I agree with everything. I think some additional vocals, either doubling some key parts here or there, or even using something that can extract some vocals that are there and turn them into an effect, like using an arcade or something like that, and then putting them back in, and just something, another texture back there would do it. But I love what's happening there. It feels good. I like how it built. I agree that the intro could probably get to the point a little quicker. And yeah, I really. Are we doing from what are we going? We going to 5 or are we going to 10?
Going to 10.
Yeah, because I'll give it a 5. We're going to 10. I'll give it a
Yeah,
10.
going to 10. Oh, that's good.
I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9 because I think
nine.
it just. Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
Come on now. 10 is Michael Jackson. Come on now. Listen.
Yeah. I'll give it a 9.
All right, Mishka.
I have a lot of the same comments for any song. Like you can't have an intro that long, especially these days where we've come to a point where now even me as a producer, I have to shorten intros of songs that I actually love, parts that I've done in the intro, just because people can't concentrate that long. You have to get there faster for any of the streaming services to get you, and you really kind of want to. You kind of want to get there. To me, I really love this. Like you're definitely somebody who knows structure. You know your thing. I'm not really mad at no harmonies, but I would kind of like to hear, like when you're doing that kind of repeat at the end of each one of those verses. I kind of like to hear those kind of change as they kind of trail off. Maybe it's a filter or something that kind of changes that into line. So it's so that it's not the exact same kind of sound. But I mean, I applaud you. I think it's one of my top picks in this bunch. I think I give it an 8.
Right. And Clint, you're next because
Okay, so look, this is
you're
such
the only one left.
this is such a great alt modern vibe. Great vocalist. I can't stress that enough. It's a hard thing to do, but the vocals were so strong. Great verse. I think the chorus was so close. My second listen, it got better. The third listen, it got better. So potentially production might have brought that up a bit. But for me, the verses were the strength of this song. They were so good. And I agree with everything Mishka was saying about the delay. It really kind of annoyed me after a while that it was there. It was something you could have either let it go through or do exactly what Mishka says, and it would have been more effective. A bridge would have gone such a long way. And the funny thing was, when you got to the end of the song, that little, all of a sudden, that section you pulled from it just to change and to go out of the song, that could have been your bridge, that one little break. And had you done something like that, I think that would have really elevated this to a 9 for me with everything. And, I think from a songwriting perspective, this was my favorite of the night, and I gave it an 8 out of 10 as well.
Okay, excellent. All right. We're going to go to our next submission. It's from Robbie Maroon. He's from Australia. And let's just get straight to it.
your screen. They come from places that you never been. It might seem strange if it's your first time. Don't be afraid. Love's now alive and it's a brand new life. Online up there is the girl of my dreams. Won't pick up my mailbox and she's waiting there for me. Computer generated love affair. Unconnection made it cyberland. It might sound crazy, but it feels so right. Cyber love story, romance survives. It's cyber love. Cyber love. Computer generated love affair. Unconnection made it cyberland. It might sound crazy, but it feels so right. Cyber love story, romance survives. Computer generated
Right, Khalid, you're up first, my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, it's so funny too because this song has a nice throwback feel. You know, this is my generation, that old school funk. A fro coming out, pop the fro out and everything. No, but yeah, I like the basic thing. I'm gonna do like Clint was saying. There's positives and negatives on there. There's something that I heard. It was a dissonance that just sounded just kind of weird, rubbing. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it was a dissonance in the tuning or the pitch or something. And I couldn't figure out what that was, so that kind of distracted me. But once I got into the groove and everything, I see what they're doing. It's old school, reminiscent of a lot of the stuff that I came up with, and but the one thing that I think it would benefit from in the arrangement is like there's too many things landing on the one all the time. So I think if they get a little more stair stepping or checkerboarding of the different sounds so that everything has its own slot in the rhythm, maybe moving something that's starting right on the beat with a bunch of other things, move it in the slot so that you can hear it itself. And I think it'll benefit a lot from that. And plus the drum beat just kind of stays this way all the way through the song, and it's that kind of groove. But I think it can get a little more clever in some transitions into other sections, and then for the throwback type of feel, it achieves what it's trying to do.
So what's your score?
Okay, I'll give this one a 7.
Okay, Mishka, you're next, man.
That dissonant thing, it's what threw me off from literally the intro. You start with a really cool synth thing happening, and then it's kind of followed up by the exact same thing doing the wrong note. And the bass line on this one, to me, like it's reminiscent of Prince. But the one thing that we all have to really look at is Prince was one of the best session players ever. And that bass note that you're playing throughout that song, that note would never fall on that note. It's just too. It's not the right note for what it is. The structure of the song is perfect, but that one little thing kills it for me. So I would give this one, because I think everything else is so on. I'm going to give it a higher score than I normally would, but it would have been a lot higher had you had that note been right. So I'm going to give it a 6.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Clint, you're next.
Yeah, man, I agree. This song had a lot of retro legs. I mean, it just bang, retro legs. And I think this could be a banger, especially live. I mean, you take this into a live setting, and it would be a ton of fun. I'm going to echo some of the things were said because it's a thing I call tiny details. And there was a lot of tiny details that you could have done that weren't done. And the bass note, some of these things. And I think with some attention to these tiny details, and with some editing, some theme and development, some hook strengthening, just the polish, those little things, and fix up some of the stuff that was mentioned here, and then all of a sudden that would all just gel to this incredibly great, fantastic lyric hook called the Computer Generated Love Affair. So you take a retro thing and bring it into the modern era in that one little tie, and on the strength of the potential, I gave it at a 7 out of 10.
All right, Clarissa, you're next.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
would say
think?
overall, I really liked the track itself, but I definitely heard that dissonance in the intro, which kind of was like feeling weird in my ears. But it's kind of stank face worthy. The whole like, I love that old school dancey vibe. I love the chorus. I think it's catchy.
Okay.
I love the lyrics because I think they're really relatable to like what's going on right now online, where people looking for love. So I think in that way, like the songwriting is really great. I love the guitar, and I love all the vocal ear candy, like all those woos and like the who dat. Like I like that kind of stuff. But overall, I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay. All right, thank you, guys. The next up is Sleepy Cross. The song is called Love Song Reinvented. Here we go.
And Cross, A. Smith, loyal. Like a river flow. Time to go. Time to show. Time to go.
Look, I don't need to play, ain't no need to say where I've been today. I've been in my skin. Look, I won't entertain, I'm gon' lead the way. You gon' learn today. I don't do nothing but win. Why you on that crazy? You're supposed to be my baby. I don't know why you so lazy with your heart, girl, but no lie, I've been alright, I'm good without you in my world. Oh, not another love song. You done did my love wrong. Oh, no, not another love song. I'm gon' get my thug on. Oh, you can't keep telling me all the things you wanna be. Just be it, baby. You can't keep telling me all the things you want me to be. You just see it, baby.
Beach views and Henny when we chillin'. D on my prime, I'm in it, but ain't no more other women. You know that it's just you. And don't try to hide it, makeup. Can't deny that everything I do is true. Strips blue, crib new, tell me why you blue. If you still fighting through your pain, I guess I see you. You still adding up the problems, I say times it two. But if you still thinking about the problems, I guess nothing new. Oven grew the cake, now not in double you. Still see your face, I close my eyes under covers. Thinking about the last time a nigga said I love you. Now ain't no more favors, ain't no more laters, ain't no more laters. You let the hate get the best of you. Time was spent with you, but now my time is spent on revenue. Tired of ups and downs, I guess I lead it to the letter U. Only one regret I hate, I couldn't see the better you.
Couldn't see the better you. Oh, not another love song. You done did my love wrong. Oh, no, not another love song. I'm gon' get my thug on. Oh, you can't keep telling me all the things you wanna be. Just be it, baby. You can't keep telling me all the things you want me to be. Don't you see it, baby?
Talking about how we can get by. Just go. What you talking about? I don't buy. Just know. Why complicate it? You're so biased. Got me theorizing like it's science. Analyzing our alliance and our defiance. In a sense, what makes you good and me the tyrant. In question if I'm cool on your admiring. Then bounce and shake you like MJ did Byron.
shot from the top at your friend. Yeah, that friend didn't go out with the wind, out like the wind. So let's not pretend like you can't comprehend where we're not all in. Stack my chips, change my lanes, switch 2 gears and change my frame. Sip 2 beers and play strokes like dang. This mind of a matter, I'ma bear my pain and wear my name. If you wanna do the same, girl, check your game.
All right. Mishka, what do you think, my friend?
So this one's a tough one for me because I feel like this singer is a truly gifted singer. And I think because of that, I feel like let me put it this way. So to me, I feel like we take too long to get to the hook. And I feel like the hookiest part of the hook is too short. So the "Oh No, Not a Little Love Song," I think that should be, you should have brought that in again at the end of it. I really think, like, had you been able to figure that little part of the puzzle out, like just make the one hookiest part of the record, which is your hook, like that should be more prominent to me instead of so many other sections that are so much longer. So to me, I would say work on the song structure because I feel like you're, as a skilled singer, you've got that, and I think you're probably one of those singers who could just sing about anything, and you're going to make it sound really beautiful and really amazing. So I would also challenge you as a singer, because you're just that damn good, to really work harder even on what you're saying in the hook. But I would, just knowing what, where I feel like you are, I'm going to give you an 8 because I really think you did a really good job. But I feel like there are some things that, I think if you challenge yourself, I think you'll realize that I'm right. I think you just got to make that hook stronger.
Great. Clarissa, you next.
I agree with what he said, but yeah, the intro was very long, and I just think the song overall was too long. I feel like it could have done without like that whole long last verse, but I really love the vocal. I like the lyrics. I like the whole vibe of this song and the trade-off between the singing and the rapping. Maybe some more like variety instrumentally wise, maybe more like build up, ups and downs, just to differentiate all the sections a bit more. Definitely like shorting the lengths just with all the strongest verses and then keep people wanting more. But I would give it a 7 because I'm into those vibes. So.
Sure. All right. Khalid.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. What they're saying is the intro is definitely way too long. It needs to get right to his voice. He's a great singer, and but what I think would really help this song too, in your music. That 808 you got is stretching out way too long, so it's masking some of the other things. You got that one beat, put some kind of transient designer on there and shorten the release so that it's going like, because you got that, and then you got a little loop or something going, playing some string lines, so you got like a melody going back, do 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 do, and you got the kick drum going, boom 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 boom, do 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 do. You can hear that kind of in the background, and that's like a subliminal hook. So if you shorten the decay of the 808 to get out of the way to hear that back there, you'll have a better melodic foundation instrumentally.
So
And
what's your mark?
I'll give it an 8
Okay.
for potential.
All right. Clint, what do you think, sir?
Yeah. So, first of all, I thought this thing had a really kind of forward-feeling vibe. I mean, it's kind of hard to reinvent some things, but this had a lot of forward feel to it, where there's some instinct about authenticity of going where some other people. There's another producer in France called L'Orange that does that. He's so forward in that way. So that was my favorite thing about it. There's a thing that I call harmonic continuum, where you basically have this drone of harmony that goes through the thing, and it's so popular now. And I feel like, wow, you're just making it harder for yourself, because when the track feels similar all the way through, it's really hard to sustain interest. I mean, I started to lose interest, and I had to concentrate. And you fix that with tiny details, editing, or developing section variation, like everybody said here. So my key takeaway was really the forward-feeling vibe. I think it's beware the words carrying the track, because I think you wrote the words and then sung them, where sometimes in this thing, what you cut is more important than what you keep. And it's such a difficult thing when you write the lyrics, and that's what you should do, is blast out big things. So the edit. And then I think some structure, some sections, variations, some of the production stuff. I think there is enough here that I think if it was a rework, this would really go to the next level super, super fast. But because of these things being, it was really kind of like should have been edited before it was brought, I'm going to give it a 6.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to our next song. It comes all the way from Hungary. It's Ildiko Barta, and the song is called Magic Song.
Make something magical, truly nice. What comes from inside, not just some lies. Show the desires of your soul. Give shape what you're longing for. Just look around, what do you see? The land unfolds its mysteries. Trust yourself, or you can do it, and magic will abound. The plant grows from the ground. If the sky gives it rain and light, slowly time goes by as it touches all the sky. Leaves and flowers everywhere, making this land a fairy tale, flower of mystery. Let's make this wonder be. Truly nice. What comes from inside, not just some lies. Show the desires of your soul. Give shape what you're longing for. Just look around, see what is there. Shades and colors everywhere. Paint your essence, unfold your light. Walk among the stars. Make something magical, truly nice. What comes from inside, not just some lies. Show the desires of your soul. Give shape what you're longing for. Just look around, what do you see? The land unfolds its mysteries. Trust yourself, for you can do it. Finally, let it be. Brightly the sun rises and shines. Feel the power's light. Silently emerging from the skies. Blue skies chase away the dark. The land is bathing in rays of light, transforming everything, sweeping away the fears. Seems like mystery. Let's make this wonder
Okay, wow. Clint, you up first, bro.
Okay. So this style of song is like the film score, show tune, big ballad. I mean, God, Grammys are won with songs like this on Disney movies that are memorable for years to come. It's so freaking hard, okay? Because these songs soar. They need to be so big. You know what I mean? So that really, the mix and where this was is like, you almost like, here's the demo tape. Let's go down, do this properly. Let's do this with an orchestra, you know, because it's like, when you do this style, it is so grand and big. So the mix, the arrangement, the production, all these things need to be big as well, or you're left kind of going, where is this going? So, you know, the song's not amazing, and it's really not bad. So there's so much potential in the song that I think, had it been staged in the way it should have been, I think this would have gone really much higher for me. So I'm kind of looking at this as like, I can see the seeds of this. You know, I think there's a lot of work that could be done, and I give it a 6 out of 10 because of that.
Okay. All right. Clarissa, what do you think?
I agree with everything that Clint said. I think it's a really pretty song, though. The
Yes.
vocals, beautiful range. I feel like I could hear it in a Disney movie. The intro was very long, but I would love to hear some like vocal stacks in the chorus sections, just to make it sound bigger and just stand out more. Because I felt like it wasn't easy for me to distinguish like the verses from the choruses.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that each section has its own time to shine. And I like how the song rises up kind of near the end, and then you bring it back down, which makes for a nice ending. But also, yeah, what Clint said about making it bigger, have the orchestra, just it's got to
What
be
would be
big.
your score?
I would give it a 7.
All right. Khalid.
Yeah. This is so funny that everybody went immediately to Disney. That's exactly what I thought. You know, people, y'all watching this, here's a reoccurring theme. A goldfish has the attention span of 9 seconds. Humans have the attention span of 7 seconds. Cut these intros down, y'all. These intros are way too long and extended. Get to the point. Her voice, she reminded me immediately. So what I did was, in my mind, I stripped away all the music to see. So I think she could have benefited from some vocal production, because she has a very pretty voice. You could tell she has the skills, but she wasn't really using her voice to emote the lyrics that she was singing. You should be able to strip all that other stuff away, and she would carry that song all by herself, like Belle in Beauty and the Beast or something like that, you know. So, but I think the potential is there, but I would give it probably about a 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. Mishka, what do you think?
I really liked her voice.
Yeah.
You know, again, with everybody else, I mean, I even pulled out my timer and started timing late and got myself to 23 seconds. So I know, shorten these intros, people. And I know it's like, you know, for me, I also have to go back to the times for me when, you know, all I had was one cent. So I know, like, you know, back in those days, it was very hard to make something beautiful and lush. But nowadays, I mean, any DAW, you can make something crazy lush. So I really think you're obviously a great instrumentalist. So just build it up, you know, make it bigger. Because what you're doing is beautiful, and I really think you guys, like, I have to commend the singer, because I'm listening to her. I know this isn't her first language, and she's killing it.
Yep.
So, you know, all praise to y'all, but I'm going to give you a 7, because I think I'm going to give you big on effort.
I like that little piece right at the end. I mean, they did a little thing right at the end, and they dropped it right down. I thought it was pretty cool. But I don't get the vote. All right, next is FX Music. The song is called Ride of My Life. And FX, I see you in the chat, so you're going to get your money's worth right now.
Open my get the time. Stand to my feet, turning the page. Start another chapter, I won't be the same. Nah, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. Just know I'm gonna find out. I've gotta keep on flowing. Yeah. I'm opening my mind up. It's gonna be the ride of my life. It's gonna be the ride of my life. Oh, it's gonna be, yeah, ride of my life. Ride of my life. I breathe in the view. What if I surrender and find something new? I'm feeling it, it's coming my way. Taking on the journey, I'm starting today. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going. Just know I'm gonna find out. I've gotta keep on flowing. Flowing in my mind up. It's gonna be the ride of my life. It's gonna be the ride of my life. The ride. Oh, just when I thought it couldn't get better, I turned my face to the side. And I know it's coming, and I know it's coming.
Well, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Yeah, I know it's all part of the game. Destiny been calling my name. I know sometimes change can be strange, but if I don't change, I might go insane. Yeah, gotta get up and go what I'm scared for. This is everything I prepared for. Wanna feel the wind now, let my hair blow. Don't know where I'm going, but I know I don't care though. Yeah. Let's go. Are you ready for a ride? Yeah. Said it's gonna be the ride of my life. Said it's gonna be the ride of my life. Yeah. It's gonna be one hell of a ride.
All right. Clarissa, are you up? What do you think?
Yo, I love this
Music.
song. I love the vibes. It reminds me of like 90s, early 2000s R&B, which you don't really hear anymore these days, especially on like the Billboard charts. I thought the vocals were fire. I love the background vocals and the harmonies. I love how just all the instruments came together. I love that bass line during the rap, and I love like the movement of the song, and especially like when you went to the bridge section, it was so different. So that was a really nice change as well. I love this song. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Great. Khalik, what do you think, sir?
Yeah, I really like the potential of this song. The one thing that I would potentially look at is this song has a lot of movement and motion with a lot of the instruments. And I almost felt that they were all doing too much all the time throughout the song. I think maybe look at having some things trade off, because a lot of them are doing the same thing. And the guitar playing, maybe have each one take a spot so that they can all shine at their own different times and you can hear them a little bit clear. You know, just experiment and see. I think it might clear up a little bit more and also propel the motion. I like the potential of the song, but I'll give it an 8.
Okay. 8. Clint,
Yeah, it's such a great modern funky R&B things. I think there's a lot of this coming back right now. It's not coming from the mainstream of the industry, but off the mainstream. This vibe's happening a lot. Great voice, solid ingredients. So well produced, but I think I'm going to echo what Khalid said, where maybe it's a little bit overproduced or overplayed. I call this save the details and make them tiny details. I don't know if I ever had a hook, but I don't think I cared because the vibe was so good. There was a bridge, big marks for me. I feel like it was almost unidimensional on structure, but multidimensional on production. It's a fat production, but I think what Khalid said, it might be that you might thin that out a bit and create some space. So my key takeaway was pro production, playing and performance, totally current funky R&B vibe. This would translate amazing to the live setting. This is definitely one of my faves from a performance and production standpoint, and I gave this an 8 out of 10.
8. Thank you, sir. Mishka.
Okay, I don't know whether Chimera is the singer or the rapper, but if Chimera is the singer,
yeah,
go ahead, girl.
Yeah, man.
Because you're singing. To me, I didn't get R&B vibes. I got 90s jazz vibes. That's what I got. Like, to me, it's a jazz record. And I think I think this player is a jazz player. And that's what it feels like to me. It feels like a guy who's just an insanely amazing player.
Yeah.
And we've got like a kind of a modern jazz record out of it. I like this. I think your structure is great. Love it. I kind of agree with some of the other comments about some of the elements, but if I'm looking at it as a jazz record and not an R&B record, it doesn't bother me. So I'm going to give you an 8.
And by the way, according to the chat, Chimera is the singer.
Cool.
She's dope.
So
yeah, man.
Go ahead, ladies.
Yeah.
That's great. Great FX music. You got a good mark. All right, we're going to keep moving along. This is Boris Rifkin, all the way from Spain. And he's got some people he's also featuring on this song. The song's called The Anti-War Song.
If tomorrow will be better, there's no doubt, but what for us does really matter is the deal of God. Past the future, can't rerun it, fate is at the core. And I wish that on this planet there will be no war. And I wish that for this planet there will be no war. One can spend a lot of leisure for. I don't know of any treasure forcing us to kill. Why blow up a piece of granite? What you're fighting for? And I wish that on this planet there will be no war. And I wish that for this planet there will be no war. How do we stop spreading malice around? Hatred in common means you are totally drowned. If there's no time to surrender to love, who can just soar in the sky that is absolutely above? missing flexing muscles, gaining all the thrones. Can't be proud of having done it. Think of something more. Do your best so on this planet there will be no war. Do your best so far this planet there will be no war. Make it so that on our planet there will be no war.
Great. Song with a message. Khalik, what do you think of this one?
Okay, isn't it so timely with what's going on right now in Russia and Ukraine? One of the biggest things I like that the intro got right to the point, right to her voice. You know, one thing that I would suggest looking at, maybe experiment with some editing. The guitar solo, go right out of the guitar solo straight to that modulation and lose the double guitar length and then the instrumental right after that. It lost me right there. I kept waiting for something else to happen and I'm hearing it drawn out. It just felt long to me. The other thing is, was this song, where are they from? These are not
Spain.
native. These from Spain.
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this originally written in Spanish, or was it translated to English, or was it written in English?
I'm not sure, but it's quite possible that it was originally in Spanish.
Okay, yeah, because you know some of the the lyrics is just my opinion. It feels like broken English, so they might want to collaborate with somebody to tie some of the messaging a little bit more in English. But other than that, I mean, it's a very timely song and it's very nicely done. I think I'd give it a 7.
Okay, 7. Mishka, what's
I'm right there with you, Khalik. Right there with you on the guitar solo. As coming from where I came from, singing backgrounds with Jeff Healey, you don't just end a guitar solo, and let music just continue on like that. You got it. It has to be more planned. So to me, that wasn't good for me. I also have to tell you one thing. For me, on a vocal level, I love this girl's voice. So there's no way that as a vocal producer that I would ever add another harmony on her within 2 lines of the beginning of the song. I would let us hear that voice a little longer before we start covering it with harmonies, because she's got a beautiful tone. The song, it's a nice song with a nice message, but just judging on a lot of the little elements that I feel like weren't really nailed, I'm going to give it a 6.
All right. Yeah, I gotta say also, I was listening that guitar solo, guys. No. Clint.
Wow. I mean, the fact that there was a guitar solo always makes me happy. I mean, whether it was executed the right guitar solo.
No, it was just the after part. It's after the guitar solo.
The after part, I'm in total agreement. But when we all of a sudden we had a guitar solo, it's like, oh, please, more guitar solos. Then we need to bring it back. Look, I mean, look, there will be no war. You can't get a greater lyric hook than that. It's just such a good song. I mean, it's not a great song. It's such a great message. So really, it was a phenomenal message. I agree with everything else people were saying. But the song was a little predictable in its nature. But really, was that the purpose? It's really a song with a message. So it has a message. And, for that, I give it a lot of points for that. But for the overall of a song and stuff like that, I give it a 6.
Okay. All right. Clarissa?
I agree with all 3 of them. I like the message of the song because the world could use some more love and positivity. So thanks for sharing that. Interesting song structure. I guess there's no chorus, but like more of a refrain with the repeating line. There will be no war. So that's like a bit more unique in that way. I love the guitar solo like on its own, but yeah, it felt really drawn out. And then all of a sudden it became like quiet. You were like maybe expecting the vocal to come in right away. But yeah, I would give it a 6.5. Good message.
6.5.
Great message.
All right. So we're going to move right along. This is Juice. The Black Beethoven, and it's from the United States featuring Cassandra Browning. Here we go, Juice.
I say wham, bam, alakazam. I'm about to tell you just who I am. I ride my old John Deere in the Texas sun. I wrestle cowboys and alligators just for fun. But there's a feminine side, I like pretty things, Gucci blue jeans and diamond earrings. But don't get it twisted, I'ma tell you true. I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. I'm singing, hell yeah. I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hell yeah. Squeeze me right and you can be my boo. Hell yeah. You can meet me in the boardroom at 2:30. I do everything that the big boys do, but I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Here's the story of my life with the serious side. Daddy taught me how to fight, rope and ride. Mama taught me Jesus how to cuss and clean. Raise a little sister, baby brother, and me. Now I'm all grown up, earned my MBA, but my biggest thrill is smelling fresh cut hay. Some things never change now, ain't that the truth? Still a bona fide country gal through and through. Hometown crowd, from me to you, I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hell yeah, I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hell yeah, squeeze me right and you can be my boo. Hell yeah, you can meet me in the boardroom at 2:30. I do everything that the big boys do, but I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Don't get it twisted, I'ma tell you true. I'm a bona fide country gal. I love Patsy Cline and Skinner, cranked up loud in my pickup truck. It scares the hell out my neighbor's dogs, but I don't give a good well. My Christmas lights get tangled up in the trees at Easter time. Take me as I am, I don't give a damn. I'm country gal divine. Take me as I am, I don't give a damn. I'm country gal divine. I'm country gal divine. Now I'm gonna sing it to you one last time. Hell yeah, I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hell yeah, squeeze me right. Everybody sing it. Hell yeah, I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hell yeah, squeeze me right and you can be my boo. Hell yeah, you can meet me in the boardroom at 2:30. I do everything that the big boys do. I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Don't get it twisted, I'ma tell you true. I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hometown crowd, from me to you. I'm a bona fide country gal through and through. Hometown crowd, let me tell you true. I'm a bona fide country gal through and through.
All right. Let's go, Clarissa.
I love the badass female energy that I'm getting from that track. It's like, oh, guys do this, but I can do this too as a woman. So that's some cool girl power. I like the arrangement. It makes me bob my head throughout the entire song. I would like maybe tighten up the vocal a bit. I love the lyrics. It's definitely like a sing-along song when you're singing along at the bar or at a country show. I like how it tells the story of this country gal, and I think a lot of other country girls can relate to it. So I like the songwriting in general. I would give it an 8.
Give it an 8. Sorry, my phone went off. Let me turn it up. All right, Khalik, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the potential of this. Many of you know that I started into engineering working for country star Kenny Rogers. So I grew to appreciate some of this. This has a throwback feel to it. So, I totally agree with Clarissa. The vocals got to be on there, though. There's a few timing and pitch issues occasionally crept in. But, that's easy stuff to fix, So I think if they just go back and make sure or do whatever they got to do to just tighten it up, because country, the one thing I come to appreciate is that music. I didn't like country at first, but I come to appreciate that the music was spot on. The musicianship was incredibly tight. Everything about it has to be right on and feel good. So if they tighten everything up, I'll give it an 8.
Good an 8? Great.
Yeah.
All right, Mishka.
As a song, and as just as arrangement, I think he's playing great. I think the whole band side of it is dope. But to me, on the singing side, like I've as a singer, I feel like you got to really commit. Now, I didn't work with Kenny Rogers, so I'm just gonna go put it out there. My love for country music actually happened as from being on tour buses all across this country in Canada, and every tour bus driver was, an old country dude. And all he'd be playing was country music in the front, and I always found myself sitting in the front and be like, "Who is that? Who's that?" So to me, my love for country music came from that. And when I listen to this, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I don't believe you're a country girl. That's what I'm saying. Like when I hear it, it doesn't sound like you're actually a country girl. And to me, that is you having to commit. You're going to have to, if that's what you're going to be, if that's who you are as a vocalist, then you got to commit to being a country girl on this record, because I don't believe you. And that's my one issue with the song, because the song is a great song. But I'm not believing it. And I think that's the delivery of what the vocal is, because everything on the music side is perfect. So on that level, because I think the song is a really good song, I'm still going to give it a 7.
Authenticity. All right, Clint, what do you say, sir?
Okay, so I'm gonna get a little harder on this one, simply because sometimes in a song, that hook, that one hook, the lyric hook, is the hardest thing ever to write. And this has a bona fide great lyric hook, excuse the pun. It's so good, right? So the band feel, love, check mark with everything else has been said. But it was such a good hook that I almost wanted to take that hook to rethink the whole song and work that line even into a bigger hook, get that vocal performance tight as can be so it's really syncopated on top of the beat. Like Khalik was saying in Nashville, they're just monsters how good they play, and go all the way backwards and work there, right? I just thought that this could be a phenomenally good country song. And I think the voice is great and the band feels great, but I think some of that tightening, I love what Mishka said about authenticity and about selling it. So my key takeaway, great lyric hook, zero in on it, edit, and then build the entire song from there.
Okay. So
and then for that, because I felt that it really needed, I get 6.5.
6.5. Okay. Moving right along. This is Tyrone Bradley. The song is called Don't Want You Back.
Studio.
I'm sending this to you. Sit down, it won't take long. I really thought it out, so not to get it wrong. I've been loving you so long, I don't know anything else. I give you all of me, yes, you never gave yourself. It's okay, I have to stay on track. One day you'll turn around and wish you had me back. You'll think about me when the world starts to show.
Okay, Clarissa, what do you think?
I immediately got like Kendrick Lamar humble vibes right away. but then you dropped his name in the bridge section. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it's inspired by Kendrick. I like the energy. I think the backup vocals are really cool. I love that one line, I'm backing everything with facts.
Tracks, right?
I'd probably like to hear more, like, I guess, variety production wise. It just kind of seemed like a little like repetitive in that sense. Maybe more tension and release, more ups and downs production wise, just to make it more exciting. I would give it a 6.5.
6.5. Kalik.
I actually liked it. It felt good to me. I think a good mix would help it a lot, because I can hear a lot of elements in there, great sounds and sonic ear candy, little hooks and stuff that a good engineer would know how to get the most out of. And some of the places where the drops happen and transitions into it and all that, just need that impact. Like Clarissa was saying, it's kind of flat line right now, but the stuff is in there. A good mix would make that song come alive. So I like it a lot. I give it an 8.
8. Mishka.
Okay, Tyrone, I love your studio. But okay, here's what I'm gonna say. So for me, there are a lot of people who sometimes will fight what a song needs, and I'll tell you what this song needs. And it's not because you're singing out of tune. It's because of what this record needs. This record needs autotune on every single one of those vocal tracks. It just doesn't feel modern enough to me. And to me, if you added some tight autotune on all those vocal tracks, it would make the whole thing feel 10 times more modern. I love when the rapper comes in it. I love what he's doing, but maybe like halfway into his flow, he needs to speed that shit up and just make it give me something a little different flavor than the exact same pocket that he's doing. But I mean, I really like what you did. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay, 7. Clint.
Yeah,
Let's see you, my friend.
Again, you get caught with this harmonic continuo thing, and again, it's such a hard thing to do. And I think a lot of the things that was said, you still have this here. For me, I thought the rap section was so super strong. I was wondering why it didn't come sooner. And in fact, when I was waiting for the money moment, that was the money moment for me. So it's almost like, God, if you would have just incorporated that in an edit, everything Khalik's saying about the mix and everything, but I think this was such an authentic vibe. This is his voice. So what he's doing, this is him, right? So this is really authentic. So I felt so authentic about this. I think this track has a lot of potential. And because of all that and the uniqueness of it in that, I think it's got legs. 7.5.
7.5. All right, moving right along. Here's Future One. The song is called Fantasy.
Fantasy came to me, a pleasant dream of love and hope that's leaving me to find my own soul is leading me. Leaving me to find my own soul is leading me. I can only be without you. I can only feel without you. I can only love without you. I am only me without you. Then the she who came to be a word of trust leaving me to find my own soul is leading me, leaving me to find my own soul is leading me.
Okay, sounds like the song has two endings. And the song is called Fantasy, but it should be called Without You. I just felt compelled to say that one. Anyway, let's just jump in. Clint, we're going to start with you.
Okay. So, yeah. So look, the chorus is the song. I mean, the chorus is so good. The first verse is kind of like, I don't know what's going on here. It's like the funny verse and the stuff like that. But the chorus, all of a sudden, bang, there's the song. And then, I'm kind of, my whole thing I said was like, the chorus is the song, rework the verses to complement instead of setting up the chorus the way it was. And this could be a stronger song. And then that ending piece, that little hook section he goes out with, there's the verse. So that groove that he's already done, you stick that at the front of the song before the chorus, and then all of a sudden a little bit of structure thing, and then you've got a way better song. So I think that this was a really good chorus, which is 9 times out of 10 the hardest thing to do. He had it. I think you go back to there and rework on, and I think because of that little bit of disjunctness of where you're going, what's going on here and that, but that potential, it's still a 6.5 out of 10 for me.
6.5. Clarissa, what do you say?
I agree with the Clint about the chorus. I do like how different the verses sound from the chorus, so I know like which is which. I like the harmonies, a nice little guitar solo in there. There's a particular lyric I like. I love leaving me to find my own soul is leading me. And I like the melody of it too, and how it like just goes down a bit at the end, because I wouldn't expect it to go there. I feel like there could have been more done with that, the little bridge section, I think, just to make it more interesting. It was kind of just like, I don't know. I give it a 7. I think more could be done with it, but it's an interesting song.
All right, Khalid.
I like the music. The song itself, I'm a little slow. I don't get it. I'm like, it's called Fantasy, and the verse sets up the one thing, starts out with the word fantasy, but then when it gets into the chorus, which I agree with Clint, the chorus is the strongest thing, but it's saying, I can only be without you. I can only feel without you. I can only love without you. I am only without you.
I will interject here. It says without you 12 times. It says fantasy 1 time. Does it matter what you call a song? Is there somebody with a spreadsheet here?
Yeah, and plus, what are we focusing on? It's like, I don't get it. So I'll give it a 6.
I'm saying I'm confused. I think it matters what you call a song.
Yeah, really, it does, and where you're leading people to the song. Clint nailed it. Start with that chorus and work your way backwards so that you can lead people to start with the end in mind. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So what's your mark out of 10?
6.
Mishka, I'm going to end with you on this one.
Having said all that, I totally agree with you on that. That should not be the name of this song. To me, it sounds like a little too many things. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah, a lot of ideas in the song. I don't
get
a vote.
I'll give him that.
I don't get a vote, guys, but I just had to say something. I'm sorry. We're going to move on to Go Casual. These guys are from the United States. Here we go. The song is called Slopes.
Can we take the time to sit back and ignore all that's going on and what happens before? Do not try to profit from this loss. If there's one good Without guilt, it's not as good. Come peace, come solace and comfort, glinting through gritted teeth. Faded people torn, canvas shreds of all we love. Destroyed, devoid of meaning. I don't need to be. I refuse to lose myself in you. That mixture, intoxicating as it is, can't be dissolved but by alchemies. Better left unknown. Hello, how are you? I'm blameless and move smoothly though jointless. Set forward to smiles though aimless, to dream about pieces torn apart. Drag screaming to safety, to live through this. Predators cut the sky, our wounds open inside. I refuse to lose myself in you. That mixture, intoxicating as it is, can't be dissolved but by alchemies. I refuse to lose myself in you. That mixture, intoxicating as it is, can't be dissolved but by alchemies. Better left unknown.
Hey. Mishka, we're going to start with you, man.
Okay, coming from where we just came, where the hook isn't called what it's called, but to me, I would tell you guys, I freaking love your song.
Yeah.
I love what you did on top of it. I love pretty much everything about this song except the title "Slopes." I'd probably change this song to "Admixture" because that one at least is going to get somebody searching about what the hell is an admixture. So to me, I love your song. I know Ray said that a 10 is for Michael Jackson. We don't have Michael Jackson on this show, but I'm giving you a 10.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I gotta say, a song that puts alchemy and admixture in the chorus. In the chorus.
This is a poet.
You got to get at least one
here.
extra point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Clint.
Okay, so for the band name, I love it. Go Casual, fantastic. So I agree with the title of the song, but the band name's fantastic. So look, authenticity in a band is really tough, and sometimes I listen to so many bands now every week that it's the it factor. I don't know if these guys are just starting, because if they are, their best stuff is in front of them for sure. Because if they're just starting, the seeds that are here, this is big shit. These guys could be really big, because there's a lot of stuff that's blending the vocals. If you're gonna do this vibe, that alt kind of band stuff, you got to start with that, and it's right there. And that could only get better with time. From a production standpoint, I loved it because there was some variation. I call it tricky, the tiny details. So there was some tricky stuff they did, which again, a year down the line, 2 songs down the line, that stuff gets more polished. So I thought that, here's my key takeaway. This was a very authentic band feel with a great vocal that really sets it apart. And I think if the song had a bigger money moment, I would have remembered it more and it would have got a 10 out of 10. But because it just didn't have that thing, and because I'm going to be harsh, because I think they're going to be great a year from now or the third or seventh song from now, 8 out of 10.
Clarissa.
Yeah, I really, really like this song. I love how the drums were the first thing we hear, then the vocals come in right away as well. I like how you started the first line with a question. It made me intrigued. I like the acoustic guitar layers, the harmonies, and the layering of vocals. It'd be cool to hear maybe some like gang vocals at the chorus, make it even bigger. I would go out of my way to listen to this song again. I really like it, so I'm gonna give it a 9.
9. What about admixture and alchemies? How are you managing that one? You can digest that in the chorus?
Making me look up words.
I'm changing my vote to 8.5 because of that.
Khalik, what do you say?
Yeah, I totally agree with everybody. I love this song and how it feels. I totally agree with Mishka. Slopes is not the best, strongest title to get out of it. So yeah, admixtures, intoxicating, and alchemies are the 3 words that just, any one of those or even a combination of all of them it would be very interesting. Now, the one thing that I think, I love this song and the potential of it. The one thing I think would really help it is when you guys get to the chorus, put some electric guitars in there, either with your acoustic or replace the acoustic. You can play the same parts that you're playing, but just get a different sonic texture when it goes to that chorus, so that because you got that acoustic going all the way through in that same tone and everything. I think it'd be good if it lifted up with another thing, either adding the electric guitars on there, doing the same parts that you're doing, and then try muting the acoustic guitars and see if it gets any better and clearer and punchier, or maybe both of them together. I think that would help. And I'll give this, I'm gonna give this a 9.
Oh, Mark, you guys did well. Go back to your science class. All right. The next, Delirium. They're Canadian, the lone Canadian entry.
Delirium.
Come on, guys, represent.
He's gone and left you lonely now. He said he must be free. Your dreams were shattered by his goodbye. Now I see you wonder how another love can be. Hard for broken hearts to even try. Love will come again. This heavy ache will pass you by. Here in my arms, you can escape the pain. Lorraine, have your cry. You offered what came naturally from a woman's heart. He was looking for something he'll never find. So gather up your memories. It's time for you to start picking up the pieces he left behind. Lorraine, love will come again. This heavy ache will pass you by. Here in my arms, you can escape the pain. Lorraine, have your cry.
girl, you've done it again. You know I'm gonna always try to be a good friend, so I can't sit back and watch you hurt yourself. When you gonna see that he only loves himself? He's a scrub, a dud, a leech stuck in blood, who's always gonna leave your ass in the dust. A guy who's the center of his own universe, is never gonna give you all the love you deserve. Don't wait for what may never be. Don't play that lonely part. Remember once pride taints the look behind. Someday when of this pain you're free, just open up your heart. For love's waiting now for you to find. Lorraine, love will come again. This heavy ache will pass you by. Here in my arms, you can escape the pain. Lorraine, have your cry. Lorraine, have your cry. Lorraine, dry your eyes.
Clint, what do you think?
Yeah, it's got a great vibe, and the intro is quick, short, to the point. We're right in. She's singing, it's kind of this alt folk vibe that's around. So lovely playing, and the rhythm section was fantastic. The chorus is pretty, but at first I didn't find it very memorable, right? So this is key for me. But then you have this wonderful lyric hook, Lorraine, love will come again. I mean, it's just a great lyric hook, but I think it needs a melody to match. The spoken word, I don't know why I liked it, but maybe I might I just couldn't decide. I think the verses are the standout in the song. So I think my takeaway is really, this is a really earthy, authentic vibe that has such a great lyric hook, but needs a melody to match it. And I think because of the potential of this and that the verses just, I just felt right in the pocket. They were playing. I could hear her. It felt right. 7.5.
7.5. All right. Larissa, what do you say?
I love the guitar. I think the vocals were gorgeous. I love the storytelling. I think the lyrics are really beautiful. And then when you brought in those oohs, it really elevates the main vocal. I personally would have loved to hear maybe more build up, or maybe pick it up more in the second verse. Maybe add some drums to make it like a more driving sound. And I think maybe some layered vocals in the chorus to make it sound bigger. But overall, I think it's a really beautiful song. I will give it an 8.
8. All right. Kalik.
Yeah, I like everything about the song too. Her voice is very beautiful, is very pleasing to listen to, and I totally agree with Clint. It's funny, when I first heard that rap, it just threw me. It took me out of the trance for a second, but at the same time, I like it. So what I think is they should consider getting somebody else to do the rap, like the girlfriend with attitude is telling Lorraine, forget about he's a dud, he's a leech, he's all this. It should be a whole nother voice with some attitude, maybe, because it threw me for a second. I was like, wait, what happened? But I like the song. I'll give it an 8.
An 8. Mishka.
First, I want to know who the hell that guitar player is, because he's
oh man,
so good.
Or she, he or she is badass.
Badass.
If that's you, Erica, praise Jesus. Okay. The rap, to me, it threw me off, but I think it threw me off because I felt like you weren't committing to it. So I think either you commit to the character and just be either you're going to be way more like sure of yourself, or you're going to be way more cheeky about it. But it's got to have some kind of character to it, to me, for that to work. I like your song. I freaking love your voice. Based on that, I'll go 7.
Great. And now we're down to our final song of the night. This one is from Dave Live. He's from the United States. So let me just get him started. The song is called Empty Chair.
Time to rescue the folding chairs from their prison underneath the stairs. Gathering dust when no one's here, welcoming the crowd about to appear. Casserole dishes, serving trays, return to the usual counter space. Familiar scene set to unfold, not like before. If you didn't know that there's an empty chair at the table, reminding me what used to be, all too aware we won't be able to ever fill that seat. We bow our heads, then we raise a toast. Try our best at cracking jokes. We dance and sing to our favorite tunes, but one last voice fills up the room. 'Cause there's an empty chair at the table, reminding me what used to be, all too aware we won't be able to ever fill that scene. Someday there'll be new kids in those old folding chairs, and new grown-ups noticing that there's an empty chair at the table, reminding me what used to be, all too aware we won't be able to ever fill that seat. An empty chair at the table, reminding me what used to be, all too aware we won't be able to ever fill that seat.
Sad song. Dave Live, let's go to Clarissa. What do you say?
I think he's a really, really good songwriter. I like the voice is really nice. Would love to hear a bit of reverb on them just to make them sound more full. I kind of hear a bit of like an Elton John vibe. I love the chords you chose, and I think the lyrics are really well written. I'd love to hear it as like a fully produced song with more instruments. I think that would really take it to the next level. I give it an 8.
Yeah. Khalid?
Yeah, I like the messaging of the song. I just lost my daughter in October, so there's, the message resonates with me, and I know a lot of people who have lost someone, and I think that I don't know if he's doing this to demonstrate his songwriting for others, or if he's trying to be this artist himself. I think he needs to polish up the vocals just a little bit to make it more, like we've mentioned the term authentic earlier, just digging in where the message really comes through, as far as the way it's performed. And keyboard wise and everything, I think it could probably stand to be fleshed out a little bit more, so it's just not goose egg chords all the way through, but the potential of the song is there. I like the message of the song, and I think it could do well. I'll give it a 7.
So Mishka?
This one's a difficult one for me because for me, I kind of feel like songwriting it's something that should evoke emotion. And, for me, this immediately. And to me, like, let's look at it. He's not playing. It's not like he's got the most amazing setup. he's not playing through, he's not singing through anything. He's probably singing through a mic that is less than what some of the other people have sang through. There is no special effects. There's no nothing. But I mean, that thing made me feel something, man. So based on that, based on the fact that you were almost able to get me to cry up here on this, bro, I'm giving you a 10. It's a good song.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad song. It made me feel something too.
I mean, I lost my mother-in-law and my father-in-law in the last year, and it immediately makes me think of them. So it's bro, like you're hitting emotions, and you're hitting something that really, for songwriters, that's the ultimate, when you can hit them there, and you're hitting me there. So I'm giving you a 10.
Okay. And Clint?
Yeah, I mean, this is about songwriting, right? We've had some production stuff and songwriting, and this was a song played on a piano. So I really go down to the fact that, again, these very important lyrics come across rarely, and there is an empty chair at the table. And again, let's just talk about this because the name of the song is perfect. Okay, so we've talked about the other time. This one's perfect. There's no two ways about it, right? But it is such a strong, I mean, it's so freaking strong that for me, from a songwriting perspective, the elements are there. But if you take that and develop that till it's perfect, right? So even the way he's saying that, you could still do some stuff with some production or stuff, but you work on that. And again, I love this working backwards so that the narrative just makes that pop. So all that potential, and the fact that I agree that the hardest thing to do is to write a good lyric that's a song that tells a story. The minute I heard that, I was like, whoa. And I'm going to give it 7.5 simply because, to be fair to what other ones that were submitted, there was a little bit more level of polish. But the song and that lyric hook, that's a phenomenal song. I think if it got edited and worked on and maybe had some help or production or whatever, there's a lot of potential for this song.
All right. Well, thank you.
I want to up mine to 7.5 as well too, because I agree with that. It has a lot of potential.
Yeah. So thank you, guys. I just want to give you a chance to each of the panelists for a last little takeaway based on everything you've heard. If you can give some general advice to everybody that submitted a song, what would it be? We'll start backwards. So let's start with Clint.
Okay, so first of all, I think the big takeaway here is in the modern era of streaming, as much as I want a 5-minute intro, tricker release, your intros have to be tiny now. In fact, you might even forget the intro and start with the freaking chorus and then go to the intro. I mean, there's 1,000 ways to get to you got to hear the voice as soon as humanly possible. As much as I hate that from a songwriting perspective, it's so important. And then the other piece, and I can't stress this enough when you're songwriting, is just edit. There's such a pressure in today's world to create songs over and over and over at such a fast pace that what happens is that I hear it every day where I hear songs that aren't done. And in the olden days, for whatever reason, songwriters would finish the frickin' song. I mean, they'd really finish it. And I mean, I'm talking tiny edits, tiny details. So I'm just going to say, never be scared to edit, and tiny details are one of the most important things you can do for a song, to make a good song a great song.
Thank you, Clint. Mishka?
I'm going to follow right back with that intro. Everybody, kill that stuff. Like, just get that out of your head. We've left an era where we can have nice, beautiful, long intros. That's just gone. And I would go further than Clint. Don't save it for the album. Save it for the live show. Like, and I guarantee you, if you don't have it, if you don't have it on the album and you do it on the live show, people are gonna be like, "What the heck is this?" Like, really, people's attention spans are not what they used to be. So just really go to edit mode on those intros. For vocalists, just really learn to commit to what you're doing. If this is your only one chance in your lifetime that somebody's going to hear you, make sure that everything you do is the best that it can be. Like, think of it like the way that, I always imagine Michael Jackson thinking about every dance move that he made as the last dance move he's ever going to make in his life. So to me, think of every line that you sing as the last thing you're going to be known for in your life. And if you think of that, I think you're going to give us performances that are going to be way more memorable. And I feel like that in itself, almost every single one of these songs would be taken to another level with just that approach in itself. But kill those intros, please.
Thank you. Khalik, what say
Okay.
you, my friend?
What they said. Keep it short. No. But, well, let me just say one thing though. If anything will help you guys out there, study a lot of what's already worked over and over and over again, what legends have done, that their stuff can come back 20, 30, 40 years later. That's what is the template for you. If you study that, then you'll see. You should be asking yourself all these things you saw us catch here. You should have asked that yourself up front before you even submitted. So, that's the thing. Just train yourself. It just takes training. Somebody's pointed it out to you now, so you know what to look for.
Cool.
Clarissa, thank you.
Amazing
Khalik.
advice from everyone. Again, with the intros, just get to it right away because we get so bored within like 3 seconds. So keep it short in the beginning. Music is all about feeling. So if you can make yourself feel, make someone feel, then that's a really good song. Listen to songs that you love, take inspiration from them. And well, if you just want to get better at songwriting, I think it's best to do it every day because that's how you get better. So just continue to write. And yeah, listen to all the songs that you love, that are your favorite songs, and just take inspo from them because I think that'll really help.
Hey Ray, I got one more thing, Ray.
Sure.
This is boiled down in a big project because I listen to a lot of music every week, and I've come up with 2 lines that I think encapsulates the way the industry is today, and I always give to young artists, and it goes like this: authenticity is your brand, and being prolific is the business.
Very good. And I would just like to finally add something. I think you guys, when you're writing these songs, I gotta go to this camera now. Get contrast between the chorus and the verse.
Yeah, man.
Everybody should also know that this is the chorus. So pound the chorus. Also keep it simple. The chorus doesn't need to have 16 different lines in it. In fact, if you just have one word is the best. So of course that's an extreme. So keep it simple. Make it obvious that this is the chorus. Keep contrast between the chorus and the verse. Keep it simple, but also work hard. The same principle of, Tiger Woods, what was he doing? 100 balls a day when he was 5 years old. So if you're writing one song a year and so the neighbor is writing 10 songs a day, I mean, unless you're a real genius, that guy's going to be better than you. So you have to actually be writing songs. So you got to write songs all the time. Just write them. Just, writing songs is it's a puzzle. It's a problem solving exercise. So the more you do it, the better you become at it. It's like Rubik's Cube, right? If you did it the first time, or you've done 100 times, it's a lot easier. 1,000 times, you're doing it in your sleep. So I can give you tonight. So thank you for everybody who tuned in. We're going to see you guys exactly 1 month from now with another batch of songs. Keep writing songs. I learned something. I'm sure everybody here on the panel learned a lot as well. So thank you again, panelists, for taking your Saturday afternoon here.
Right on, man. Thanks, everybody.